All right. Good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning. Nicole Cooper here. And I am picking back up. It is day 18 on Do the Hard Things Challenge. I think I missed yesterday. It's been so much going on, y'all. But good morning to you. So I am out here in Tampa. It is actually frigid weather today for Tampa. It is it was 58 degrees not too long ago. So it's actually pretty darn cold here in Florida. But I wanted to hop on today. I'm going to do this from the inside because it's chilly out here. But I want to hop on today and talk about day 18 of doing the hard things and talk about radical declarations over your life. And what does it mean to be radical? It just means to be extreme about what it is that you do, what it is that you say, what it is about your point of view. I remember talking to somebody about this was back in my college days about I was in this summer program at a church ministry, and I wrote this newsletter about let's get radical, and it was about a whole new way of the way God was going to be doing things, and it scared the living daylights out of those people who had been in that church for about 50 years, and they pretty much kicked me out the church. Right, they was ready for me to get out of there. Here's the reality, y'all. It's time for a radical movement. I did a workshop this weekend, and people were coming to us about their programs and asking us how to do things and trying to get suggestions on putting their content in place and creating their courses and launching their coaching programs. And I'm a very bold person. Somebody said, "What floor y'all?" I'm on the 33rd floor. So yeah, that's pretty high up. But they were asking me about just putting their content and stuff together. I was like, look, y'all, people are sick of whack information. Get away from basic. Be radical with your messaging. Talk about the things that people really need you to talk about that people are scared to touch, right? You have a bunch of people out here playing it safe in their messaging, which is actually not solving anybody's problems, because at the end of the day, a lot of people feel misled and disconnected because everything is just the same. You got to get radical about who you are, radical about how you're showing up, radical about the things that you want to accomplish, radical about your belief in yourself. And you have to begin to declare those things. So what do I mean about that? So when it comes down to, operating and going into this new year, it's time to stop using language of hoping and wishing. And instead say, no, this has to happen, and be radical about your actions, radical about your intentions, radical about your connections, radical about your relationships, radical about your time, radical about who you allow to have access to you. Guys, I'm so glad I'm from the hood, right? Grew up in LA, right? Because you learn how to be gangster, like how to have a toughness to your edge of not letting people run over you, not letting people, take your meekness for weakness, but understanding who you are and standing up for yourself and being able to have that level of control over how you think, being able to have that level of control over the people that you encounter, their opinions, their approach, they're wanting to utilize you for their own benefit. You got to get real radical about everything about your life and begin to create these declarations that are going to support who you want to become, what you want to accomplish, and what it is that you need access to begin to open up those doors. So let me give you an example. There's certain things about myself that I've been really meek about, very humble about, and very behind the scenes, right? There's a lot of stuff that I do that a lot of people don't know because I don't talk about it. But one of the things that I've learned is that when it comes down to this market that we're in today, that things have just changed, right? This is a whole new world that we're living in with all the technology and all of the social media and all of these different pieces of running a business. You cannot build a business without marketing. It's just not going to happen. So no matter how good you are at sales, if you want to reach an audience, you got to be a good marketer, right? You have to know how to market. And you also have to know how to self-promote. You have to know how to tell people what it is that you do. So now, for me having all these meekness all these years, I've learned that, all right, Nicole, your next level is self-promotion. The ability to get out there, share your messaging, connect with people, and promote the quality of who you are, what you have to bring to the table to transform lives so that people can even know you exist. Because at the end of the day, it's he who is the loudest loudest in this market that's getting all the business. They may not be good, it may not be quality, but they're getting the business. And so you got to ask yourself, what things do I need to get radical about, right? And when I hear the word radical, I'm like, I got to get a little thugged out. I got to get a little gangster with it, right? What things do I need to be aggressively going after and protecting in my life to produce what it is that I want to produce in my world and in my life? Make a list of those things today, you guys, and begin to identify what you need to implement, what you need to create, how you need to do it, and get to work. There's so many things that I'm going thugged out about this year, and one of the things is my time and my talent, boo. If you want access to me, you're gonna have to understand the value of being connected to me, right? And my talent, not sitting back anymore and playing small, but going all the way to the top at my highest and best abilities, and being able to really show up in a very big way instead of trying to play it safe and blend in with the crowd and doing and saying what everybody else is doing. That's not going down this upcoming year, right? And it starts today. Like it's now. It's in the messaging of these videos. It's doing these videos. It's making sure that I'm accountable every single day to show up, right? Some days I don't show up, right? It's been a lot of amazing things happening in my world with business coming my way endlessly and partnerships and all this stuff. But my point to you guys is it's time to get radical. It's time to get very clear on where you're going. It's time to get very clear on what you need to begin to make things happen. It's time to get very clear on the relationships that you need to establish, the relationships you need to cut off, the networking opportunities, who you need to network with, who you need to have in your squad, who you need to have in your support system, who you need to have access to. You need to start getting extremely radical about the changes and the shifts that you want to make. And I told somebody this the other day. I said, it's so funny. We run around here with this very kind of meek personality type, calling it humbleness, right? Because we see other people who are very loud and ambitious about what it is that they do, and then we kind of speak ill will against what it is that they're doing, not realizing that it rubs us the wrong way because we're not confident enough to show up like these people are showing up. So at the end of the day, sometimes we are, judging or criticizing what other people are doing that we're not bold enough to do. And so I want you to think about people who you see and watch that you probably are criticizing, but at the end of the day, it's touching an area of intimidation for you. And ask yourself, what can you do to get more radical in that area and begin to declare things over your life? Now, here's the thing. Because I am big on praying bold prayers. And one of the things that I understand about God is he'll give us just as much as we believe we are willing to, that we believe in, right? If we believe for just a little and we say, God, just give me a little, he'll be like, cool, that's all you want, I'll give you a little. But if we say, God, I declare to have everything that you have promised me, I declare that I'm going to operate in the fullness and the riches and the power of your glory. I'm going to walk in, be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. You begin to confess the things that God has promised us in his word. You begin to talk about walking by faith and not by sight. You're going to be able to operate in the impossible, because the things that are impossible with men are possible with God. You begin to declare those things over your life, and you begin to declare that supernatural signs and wonders will happen in your honor, right? You will be able to have strategic relationships, strategic partnerships, favor in the sight of so many other people. You begin to declare those things over your life. What's going to happen is you're going to walk with that intention, and as you are walking with that expectation and intention, those things are going to begin to manifest in your life. So it's time to get radical, y'all. Get radical in your declaration, radical in your speech, radical in your expectation, radical in your relationships, radical in cutting people off who don't belong, radical in protecting your time, and radical about manifesting the assignment that God has put on your life. When you begin to do that, so many things are going to begin to transform. All right, so that is today's Day 18, Do the Hard Things Challenge. If you want to learn more about what this challenge is all about, you can go on over to my YouTube channel at Nicole S. Cooper on YouTube. You can also join us in our Facebook group. I'll put the link in the comments below. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get radical and begin to operate in a place where you have such an exceeding level of expectation that you blow your own mind, because you finally begin to believe in what God has promised you, what he's told you, but you've been running away from because you've been operating in such small limitations and expectations. Have a great and awesome day, y'all, and we will talk tomorrow. Bye, y'all.